we're going to start with the very short introduction to where is Flutter right now and why do we think the Flutter is in an excellent moment to help you to build great projects with that. And so very shortly, like we all know that there are a couple of promises that Flutter give in the first place. So it gives you the immediate gain from day one. It obviously also gives you a lot of savings in terms of both time and money. And it is so promising that you should consider even firing CTO if they do not consider Flutter, because the Flutter is becoming a default option for the new projects, for the greenfield projects, and Flutter is obviously having its issues, but debating them, it's what make this framework always even better. And obviously always the question is for those of you who consider different technologies, what other options there are on the market, and we feel safe to say that there indeed are different competitors. However, the Flutter is in comparison very successful, and different data shows that there is no such one very specific study showing and proving how successful Flutter is. In your packages you can find a printed version of our report on that, but from the perspective of technology, all of those frameworks could be compared in terms of popularity, coverage, and performance. And very quickly, different studies, different statistics shows that the Flutter is definitely on the rise in terms of the people referring the Flutter as their key technology. It's getting more and more popular, even in comparison to the React Native. In other statistics, like Stack Overflow questions being asked, the Flutter is also getting very popular. Those statistics were, I know, relevant still before LLMs appeared, and right now probably they're taking over even that area, but it shows clearly that the Flutter is the most popular cross-platform framework, and it's not only thanks to the usage and the different statistics, but also thanks to the support that's being given by Google and a number of cases being developed by the Google team itself, because we can see a lot of examples, and what is great about Google and their commitment to stick to Flutter is the fact that they are constantly building new applications, new solutions with Flutter, and recently, who knows that logo, the last one? Notebook LM, right, that was also developed using Flutter. So this commitment is, I believe, greater than in comparison to what, for example, Meta offers, because the threads were not using React Native, so probably they are not investing that much in their own products with by using React Native, as Google is with the Flutter. There are also obviously other companies and institutions that trusted Flutter as their default solution for building the applications. So I dare say the process of making that decision was very thorough, and you'll hear examples from the stage here on how that process looked like in particular organizations, but they also trusted Flutter as their technology, core technology for building customer-facing interfaces. And we also know that the biggest trend of Flutter is coming from the fact that it's cross-platform, and it's truly cross-platform. Recently, we had, recently a year ago, we had this news that the Flutter is fully working with the web and the WASM. However, not only the web is right now at the spotlight, we also had a chance at LeanCode to build the desktop applications, and in your welcome package you can see typical suites coming from Poland, Ptasie Mleczko, and those are the suites that you can design yourself in the recently opened chocolate factory in Warsaw, and you can design your own package using Flutter for desktop application that we created there. So it also opens the opportunity for the building different kind of kiosks and other customer-facing applications that are using Flutter for desktop. So Flutter for desktop is truly a cross-platform solution being used heavily on production with those cases. Right, so I dare say that in terms of popularity, coverage, and performance, Flutter is winning in all those categories, and we also understand and we also know that it is probably not that easy to make that decision. Therefore, we have created a lot of studies our own. As I've mentioned, you have this study of CTO report where we have gathered the entries from 281 CTOs from all around the world, where they were giving the responses to how satisfied they are with the use of Flutter, and surprisingly enough, the Flutter was winning in terms of or other even native solutions that we asked about. So the level of satisfaction overall is pretty high. The net promoter score NPS for the Flutter was around 73, and that was even before the announcement of full compatibility with WASM. That was a year ago. And we also asked them if they were able to make the decision again, would they again decide on Flutter? So the vast majority of them, close to 96%, said yes, that was the good choice, and knowing what we know today, we would repeat it. We also have the statistics saying that the vast amount of the new applications coming to Apple App Store is indeed using Flutter. So this change, this technology is definitely proven in production. There was a great event organized by the Flutter team, Flutter in Production, recently, where you can find even more evidences for that. Good. And we also have obviously a digital version of our report, so you can also feel free to share that with your teams internally. The plenty of slides for the ultimate deck presentation to the board where you want to convince them that the Flutter is the way to go. Good. And we also know that the decision is not that straightforward to change the technology. We've been making that decision for years as a LeanCode. Originally, we also started as a company building native applications only. Then, because we have the strong background with the Microsoft technologies as well, and with C# on the backend side, our first choice for building cross-platform technologies and for not paying twice for the same solution was with Xamarin. Then we've discovered React Native, and we were also super satisfied with that. However, in 2018, when the Flutter was officially born, just before that, we also started experimenting with the Flutter, and we fell in love with that. So ever since then, we are building the Flutter communities. So today's meeting is not the only community that we try to animate and create. We are the founders of Flutter Wars, so we are the founders of Flutter Europe, what used to be, before COVID, the biggest Flutter conference in the world. And right now, we aspire to be among the top Flutter agencies with GDs on board, with the team of more even than 35 Flutter developers working at LeanCode. And we also have a vast experience coming from the enterprise projects, and we would like also to share our experiences and insights with you. And based on them, we dare say that indeed for the enterprise environment, Flutter is definitely ready to boost your to boost the productivity in the projects, to boost the productivity for the products you are creating. And having said that, we obviously are not only super satisfied with the current state of development of Flutter, because we definitely always follow the recent news, like during the recent Google I/O, and we followed the development, the great development the Flutter team is doing to Flutter. However, we feel pretty confident to say that for the majority of our business partners, the news that are currently being delivered by the Flutter team are, forgive me, Ander, for saying that, pretty boring, because all major things have already been developed by the Flutter team. So what the Flutter team is doing right now is excelling and fine-tuning all the remaining things, right? But we don't see any blockers, any major issues that are right now on the roadmap. If you study the roadmap carefully, and we will spend some time on that roadmap later today, you will see that there are long-time initiatives that are strategic for the Flutter, and we should understand how they are being developed and what's the master plan for them. And in our fireside chat discussion, we'll cover that. But basically, all initial ingredients for you to build amazing products are already there. So you can have confidence with Flutter, and you can feel that this is a really good choice for you. Good. So today, therefore, we are not going to focus that much on technology, on specific packages, on specific idiosyncrasies of Flutter, but we are more going to ask the questions of whether you can use the Flutter in your brownfield projects. There are a lot of institutions that already have the vast user bases, and they need to contemplate how to organize that path to Flutter. What is then the best migration strategy for the Flutter? Because you can make a lot of choices here. How to migrate the team to Flutter if you have your in-house development team. What would be the best way to organize the team and to train the team so that they can indeed deliver quick results using Flutter? How to build the design systems, how to use those small accelerators in the project that help you to reach the highest level of productivity quicker, and whether we should be worried about accessibility, how Flutter helps also to answer those questions. And last but not least, we will also talk about an elephant in the room, so AI, and if you can vibe code with Flutter and how to do that in a safe way. Good. So we are trying to answer that question for a couple of years, those questions for already a couple of years. You can find other pieces of content on our site where we've been analyzing the Flutter for Enterprise and the Flutter large-scale applications carefully. But today, the hopes are that you will find even more knowledge just with your neighbors sitting at the table. So again, please find the time to exchange that knowledge, and again, thank you for being here with us.